being a dungeon master is the coolest thing at the table. So definitely consider it. If being a player is fun too. I'm a forever dungeon master over here, and happy to be it. So you have a friend watching the stream, and it will be his first time playing D&D. Do you have any advice for him? Generally, what I say to first-time players is to think about the characters that inspire them for the character that they're going to play, assuming that it's going to be for an ongoing campaign or story, that type of thing. So for every type of character, right? Like Captain America is sort of an inspiration for a paladin. Um, you know, Indiana Jones maybe for a rogue. All these different examples, like whatever that inspiration is, kind of keep that in mind and try as much as you can as you start playing, not to just sort of like search your character sheet for what to do. Try instead, and that your dungeon master can help a lot with this, try instead to think from the character's perspective or from your own perspective, like, okay, in this situation, what do I want to try to do? Right? That's kind of usually the really eye-opening thing for brand new players is it's like, yeah, this isn't the type of game where you're going to have a bunch of like, you're going to get inspiration from your sheet or you're going to find just the thing that you need. Just take a breath and think like, okay, so there's 2 guards on that door down there and we got to get through it. And do they see us yet? They see us. Okay. Can I just go up and I just want to kind of see if I can talk my way in? And it's like, absolutely, you can try that. What do you say? You could just get into it, right? If you say like, well, I think this is what this would be exciting if this character, I've always wanted to try this, and just go for it. Your dungeon master is there to help shape the ideas that you have into roles, into actions, into things that will map to your sheet. You'll probably have to reference your sheet then to go along with whatever the dungeon master says, but you don't need to get ahead of yourself. You can really just play this game by sitting there and saying, okay, well, I'd like to try to do this. Can I try that? And then the dungeon master's going to say, yep, okay. So give me a this check or roll the dice for this. And in that sense, it becomes a really sort of addicting, experimental narrative playground. And, aside from that sort of mindset thing, everybody's job at the table is to make the game fun for everybody, right? Keep that in mind. Don't intentionally run against any of the tropes of the story if you can. Lean in to the type of fun that the game is set out to be. And if you want to take notes, I have a short on this somewhere on my channel, but just every page, like if you have sheets of paper at the top of a page or in the middle of a page, just a proper noun, just write the proper noun and then leave that page for taking notes on that thing. That's all you really need to do as a player. You don't have to go crazy with notes. If you hear a location that sounds like it matters, just put that on a page. Now that page is dedicated to anything else you hear about that location. And if you use your player notes that way, it's going to seem like you have a lot, but at the same time, you're going to be able to find your notes. You're going to be able to find like, oh, who are we talking about? And you're like, I've got stuff on that person, right? Or I wrote down the name of that magic item or the story of the king, whatever. I wrote down King whatever's name, and I can pull that up. Yeah, that'd be my advice for a new player. Hopefully the game is awesome and you play again and again and again. You play for years. It's worth it. It's fun. Appreciate the advice. I've always wanted to get into D&D, but I've always had some sort of blockage that kept me from diving in. So I'm super excited. I'm psyched for you. It's a super fun time. You'll have to stop back in. Let us know how your first time playing goes. I want to do a series on it at some point. because I think that there's so much that players can do to make the game awesome. Like Dungeon Masters can do a bunch, and I think we try, but there's so much that great players can do to really elevate the game for people. It's worth thinking about. You don't know where to begin. You want to play with your friends. What do I recommend? Well, you're definitely not alone. Um, Getting started without somebody to basically run it for you at your table can be the biggest hurdle in D&D there is to climb over. So on the bright side, once you get over that, you're basically you're probably in good shape. I think that for you probably have to decide one thing first. Do you want to be the dungeon master, or do you want to join a game? And if you are interested, by the way, being a dungeon master is the coolest thing at the table. So definitely consider it. If being a player is fun too. I'm a forever dungeon master over here, and happy to be it. Matisse is right. If you DM Lost Mines of Phandelver is very good, and the new Dragons of Stormwreck Isle also is pretty good. Well, that's great. That's great, Rock. And you are in. I mean, also unbiased, but this is like probably the best community you could have stumbled into for this sort of thing. We have a lot of experienced dungeon masters, new dungeon masters. We have players. We have all sorts of stuff. I'm sure somebody by now will be linking the Discord into chat, and it's a great place to sort of brainstorm and figure it out. So thank you, Matisse. So the starter sets are pretty good. I still, you still have to work with them a little bit, because it's a really difficult thing to just start. You're going to have to probably do a little bit of research. All I can really do is say what worked for me, right? I started, once my wife and I decided we really wanted to try, which actually I'm thankful to her. She's the one that kept pushing. She's like, we need to try D&D. We need to try D&D. I'm like, I don't know anybody that plays. So I started watching Critical Role, and I watched Chris Perkins. I watched him run some games. Low level means brand new adventurers. In D&D, you typically start at level 1, 2, or 3, depending on how kind of tough you want the game to be. Some people like to start at like 3, 4, or 5. If you start at level 1, you have like 5 hit points, and one hit can take you out. I think that's personally, I find that kind of fun, but that's not for everybody. So low level just means that the first couple of levels, it's something that can work with an early group. Then you've got mid-tier, which is going to be like anywhere from really like 5 to 12 is kind of like, and then you've got the higher level stuff, which is into the teens. Technically, D&D lets you go from like level 1 to level 20. Very few games ever make it to level 20. That's a whole other thing. So it wouldn't hurt to, I would say, watch some D&D being played. I think that's the best way to learn the game. Right now, that's the best way to learn the game. I don't think that will forever be the case, but right now that's like the number one way is find a game with people you like and give it a shot. If you want to try playing in some games, it can be hit or miss, but game stores in your community, sometimes libraries have like game clubs that you can go to, like a first time player thing and get a sense for it. And a D&D boxed set, you can, I think at this point you can get them at like Target and places, like they're pretty much everywhere. Yeah, Matisse is totally right, but it's also the wonderful thing about this game, especially for people who, it sounds like you were saying you've played like tabletop games and maybe some board games and stuff like that. The wonderful thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it's really just an engine for creative experiences. I don't have any game sessions of mine yet. Maybe soon. But yeah, the great part about Matisse. The great part about this game is that you can do almost anything with it. Okay. And if you have that spark and you have that interest, I mean, just to like before D&D, I'd never crafted anything. I've never painted nearly as much. I certainly never made maps. I never made props, books. I never made cryptography. I didn't try to attempt to like fake making music that was really like a puzzle. I'd never even thought about making like a language, you know, writing poetry, um, lore, game design, all of that stuff. Thank you, Construct. Yes, that will be the same day. It's all going to come at the same time. It's going to be that. It's going to be the interview podcast. It's going to be 3 actual plays, probably all at once. It's going to be a busy day.